This video is nothing more than a summary of the Shigeru Band Architects UNHCR Shelter PDF. And you should refer to this document for all aspects of building this shelter. It's basically in 6 steps. Start here with preparing the site. The site should be wide, open, without inclinations. This is all pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to have it on a rocky ground or inclined. The width of the shelter is the same as the rope length, so that can help somewhat when you lay it out. And there'll be an entrance on one side, so keep that in mind as you set up the place where you want it to reside. Okay, step 2, assemble the paper tubes. Here you see what's representing the ground in brown here, and the paper tubes, all of them, laid out. 5 on each side of the long tubes here, running right down the middle of where the shelter will be built in an area about like this. And you can kind of scatter the other short tubes approximately like this. Also, the plastic joints should be kind of just set in an area, scattered around, if you want to get precise with it, about like this. And that'll just help to build the frames. So the first thing you'll do is build a frame on the ground. Okay, using these tubes here, and you'll insert the tubes all the way into the plastic joints. The next thing you want to do is make 2 more of the frames. So you end up with something that looks like this. Now at this point, you might find it helpful to take 2 of the long tubes and set them into the ends of the first frame here. And it should be a simple matter of just pivoting, lifting up this part, pivoting that over so that the L shape is kind of self-supporting there. It'll help you out a little, so that it looks something like this. Okay, and we're going to take the center one, move that up, and you can add the other 3 tubes to provide a semi-structure that looks like this. It's probably a 2-man job, wiggling the parts in and out so that so you have a freestanding section. And then it's just a matter of completing the 3rd section. I would do it the same way as the first, where you take a tube and put it in the 2 ends and tip it up. As shown, and tip it up, and assemble the 3 remaining long tubes. And lastly, you'll want to drive the anchors in, as it says in the PDF. You can refer to this. Basically, I would just set the anchors next to the plastic joints and pound them into the ground about halfway, Try to get the same angle you got here from the plastic joint, and I'll show what it looks like with the anchors in. Okay, when you get the structure lifted on top of the anchors, it'll look something like this. And step 2 is finished. Step 3, fasten the ropes. In this section, you'll want to pay particular attention to the PDF file, in that the aluminum stoppers need to be set up properly. Here you can see it. There'll be a bend on the stopper, and there'll be a concave side and a convex side. Okay, so you put the rope through, tie a knot on the concave side, the inside. Then you want to throw the rope around diagonally over the plastic tube, and thread the other end of it through the stopper. Okay, then you can take and tie off the bottom section, as you see here, again diagonally, with a knot that looks like it's a double square knot, or you know, I use these in fishing lines where you wind it around twice, put it back up through the main loop, whoops, and pull it tight, and then they're showing that you cinch it up close to the joint as you can. So in a three-dimensional world, what you get is something that looks like this. Okay, now I've made the ropes here oversized so they show up, but basically you want it to end up looping around the plastic joint. Okay. And the stopper will look something like this when it's all assembled. It's not perfect, but I think you get the idea where an easy way to remember this is you want the shape of the stopper to be the same as the shape of the rope at the top. Okay, then you want to, of course, tie the bottom off like that. Again, go around it diagonally. Okay, every rope is placed diagonally around or on the plastic joints. Okay, so that is rope 1. Rope 2 is just going across into where a stake is placed into the ground. And let's see if I can get the stakes turned on here. There we go. So you'll end up with stakes. You can kind of ignore these outside ones here, but for placing the ropes, it'll look like this. Tie it off again down there. This dimension here is 1 meter. It corresponds to the door size. And after you get those on there, let's see, rope 3 is going across. Okay, so those are placed on both sides. And then there's rope 11, rope 15. Now you'll see these all in the document. They don't have to necessarily be done in order, but they all need to be there. There's 18 of them, so It's kind of a major thing. It'll go easy once you get the hang of it, and I'm sure it'll go kind of fast with those stoppers. You know, should work out nice. And when you're all done, you'll have something that looks like this. And it is going to be all in compression, and it's going to be a very strong base here for the rest of the assembly. And that concludes section 3, step 3. And step 4, put the sheets. Okay, the only thing here is you want to unwrap it from one end and just get halfway, and then fix the center cable ties. And it shows you how to do this here. Um, it'll end up, and then you'll just unwind the rest of it. Here's another, you know, explanation. Shows you how to go completely around that. And you'll want to okay, then next would be part B, but here's what it looks like with just sheet A on there. And you can see this is really the only place where you'll put a cable tied directly over a plastic joint. As you can see, these others are not on the joints but on the paper tubes. Anyway, that's the way it's spelled out in the instructions. And then going back to the PDF, the next thing is to put sheet B underneath sheet A. So this is sheet B on the two ends, and on the end with the door in it, you want to create some slack to allow the door to kind of overlap when you cut the slits for it. So I can show you that. Looks something like this. Let me make that less transparent here. Okay. So you kind of get the idea of you know, creating a little slack there. Of course, on the back one you don't have to do that. And when you do the rest of the ties, like so, you'll have you'll want to make sure that you cut the slots for them horizontally, not vertically. In other words, with the grain of whatever reinforcement fibers are in the tarp. And you can see they're specifically laid out. Now these will all be available as a reference in a document that I'll talk about at the end. But this is I believe the end of step 4. Yeah. Step 5, make an entrance. You'll want to cut the end at the width of what the stakes are from the top down, and apply ties to the outsides of the sheets. It'll look something like this. You can see that. going through this sheet here. Now it'll be, you'll take the wrinkles and hold them in the middle here, and then hold this section taut when you make the cut. That'll allow the door to overlap a little bit, and make sure that you do that on both sides. Okay. Anything else? No, that is section 5. And lastly, step 6, where we're digging a drain around the perimeter of the shelter, which will look like this, and put the remainder of the sheets down into that. And lastly, you want to put the stakes right through the tarp into the incline on the ditch, something like that. And I believe that should take care of this construction of the paper tube structure shelter. And there is one other document that will also augment the PDF file. It's basically this model where you can manipulate it and turn parts on and off, just like this one, and I'll show you how that works. Okay, this is a PDF file, standard PDF file called 3D Paper Tube Shelter PDF. The first time you open it, you'll have this yellow warning banner, 3D content's been disabled, and you just go to options here, and you can trust this document always. Now you'll have to click on the picture, and you end up with a fully editable CAD type 3D drawing of the shelter itself. Let me just show you a couple of the features of the way it works. Okay, you'll notice this tree type icon. If you hit that, here's the model will show up here, and here you can see all the different sub-assemblies, and you can turn those on and off. Or you can actually go inside and find a particular part and turn that on and off. There's a number of other things you can do. There's down here in viewing, you can see the front, back, left. In this model, left is actually the front of the shelter. And there's other things you can change, background colors, and you can do neat things with the lights. You can right-click on a part and make it transparent. It's fun to play with, and it's helpful to have another document where you can see some detail in it yourself. And that's about it. So thank you.